back with WSJ Lunch Break. I'm Wendy Bounds. More homeowners, they are getting religion when it comes to real estate. What do I mean by that? Let's ask Beth DeCarbo. She's right here beside me. She's the deputy editor of our mansion segment. Being the deputy editor, you get just to go to cocktail parties and say, I work for the mansion segment. People must love that. It's a good starter. All right. But these houses we're talking about, these are old churches that people are moving into.
Former churches that a lot of churches are either closing their doors or merging, moving elsewhere to cheaper buildings, and that leaves a lot of beautiful old historic buildings up for sale, and developers are turning them into private residences.
I can guess at what people would be attracted to. I mean, probably the same things I would be attracted to. The soaring high ceilings, the beautiful stained glass. What am I not thinking of?
Oh, even the church bell that people that are left behind, people love to ring.
You mean your kid just rings it over and over and over and over again?
We have one family that on New Year's Eve they ring the church bell to ring in the new year. Beautiful old altar fixtures, brass fittings, glass doorknobs. They're just beautiful structures.
So the key is leaving a lot of those details, you know, maybe even a pew here and there, although it's probably not that comfortable to sit in a pew, but to sort of have that flavor of the church. But it's got to be tricky renovating them, because I would think there'd be some standards in place. These are historical buildings.
That's right. That's right. And especially if they have landmark status, there are limitations to what you can do. Typically, the developers come in and they reframe the interior walls and they build on top of that, adding levels. And doing so, they have to bring everything up to code. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work and a lot more expense for somebody to do.
That's right.
The other thing I think about is often when I go to church, I'm cold. I mean, the heating in churches, particularly in the winter here in the Northeast, is not always great, particularly with old churches. So how does that work for folks?
Well, in dividing it into levels, that does make the space a little bit more manageable. But some of these units are 3,000 square feet with 35-foot tall windows. Yes, they're hard to heat. Even if you blow in a lot of cellulose insulation, you're going to have a high utility bill, or you're going to learn to wear more sweaters in the winter.
Wear more sweaters. You could maybe go up into the choir and sing yourself, you know, get yourself warm that way.
That's right.
I wonder, is there any particular type of church or denomination that we're seeing people doing this in more, or are they all the churches sort of downsizing, and there's a lot of these coming up on every level?
My guess is that it's probably happening on every level, but we can look at denominations and congregations that have central governments that actually track these. So, for example, the Roman Catholics in the past, or since 2000, they've closed or consolidated more than 2,000 churches. The same with the United Methodists, and a very large Protestant group. They've also closed about 2,000 churches since 2000. So this is a lot of real estate coming on the market.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and cost of these things can just range from, what, a couple $100,000 to the millions, I would assume?
That's right. We have a listing that's in Colorado. It's a beautiful old Presbyterian church for about $445,000.
Upward of that.
That's right.
All right, Beth DeCarbo, thanks so much for being with us. And we have a mansion segment for you every day on WSJ Lunch Break.